Hey everyone, today we got White Dragon, or should I say Kampfpanzer, a tier 8 German medium tank, which is very interesting and in my opinion one of my favorites, to be fair, because this tank is fun to play, fast, good componented, great gun, unfortunately low alpha, and great high explosions, which you're gonna see in an upcoming games. So let's jump to the games, let's talk about the field modifications, equipment, positioning, and armors, and let's see what this tank is capable. So let's go. So the first battle, we got the Ghost Town, the standard battle, and in this game I'm going to use a spotting setup, which is exhauster, TVS, and optics, and I would highly recommend to have as a secondary setup for this tank, because this tank are not capable to tank brawl, very difficult level. So when you're gonna have high tiers to play against tier 9s, for example, tier 10s, you're gonna struggle, right? And your gun handling, DPM, that small alpha is not gonna be great rates, trust me. So to compensate a game, you more likely gonna try to play as a light tank, and that's what I would highly recommend. Or at least a light tank positioning or next to the light tank, right? So with this setup, you're gonna increase your component, view range, so you're gonna compensate, you're gonna get some assistance. Overall, you're really well-rounded tank, you got a great mobility, and what else you need? Unfortunately, you got a small alpha, but you got a 4.5 second reload time while having standard equipment without a rammer, without vents. So imagine what this tank is capable if you're gonna go with a try-hard setup. Really would highly recommend, if you're going with a try-hard setup, I would definitely do not use rammer. I don't think it's, even with the standard equipment, it's useful to use a rammer in my opinion, because the difference about the reload time is only by 0.7 seconds, I think so, if I'm correct. So that's not a huge boost, right? So if you, I'm talking about the standard equipment, but if you put bone vents, for example, and the directive vents, right, your real time will be really great. And the rest, what you need to increase, for example, if you're brawling or city maps, I would go with definitely HP boost or experimental HP boost. Oh, yeah, some of you gonna say turbo. I'm not a big fan of turbo. He's already fast. He can go up to 64, 65 kilometers per hour. So that's a lot of speed, and you don't need more. Unless you're crazy and you wanna be Schumacher, I guess. But in my opinion, this tank is fast enough, and I would highly recommend experimental HP and something like, I don't even know, for better gun handling, or even rammer. For city maps, rammer would be a great choice. So you're gonna have a full potential of your DPM, and that can be super nasty. Trust me, that can be very nasty. That was a bad aim. But for open maps, I definitely would go more likely TVS, must be, optics, and bone vents or exhauster. So once again, it's a medium tank, fast medium tank, and he's capable to do a lot in the long range, in the close distance. So to increase your V range, to increase your spotting, is a good choice, I would say. Obviously, it's just me, right? So you can choose whatever you want. But anyway, we're getting spotted, we're losing half of HP just like that. Don't rely on this tank armors, because this tank armors are not existing. So as soon you're gonna get spotted, you're gonna look like that, and that's against 205mm penetration. So you are flat green all the way around, 81mm on the side, 25 from behind, and frontally you got a small chance to ricochet with your upper plate. Quite good gun depression, so you're capable to ricochet, so don't be surprised. And you also, if you have a chance, go side scrape against lower calibers. You're gonna try to side scrape, and you're gonna definitely have a chance to ricochet. But once again, don't rely on armors. Same as goes like Char Futur, don't rely on armors. Sometimes you're gonna ricochet if you're gonna be lucky, and try to avoid you know what, arty shots, right? Because if arty gonna shoot you, he's gonna eat you as a pizza. Huh? Anyway, so as soon as you're gonna get spotted, watch out, try to rotate, try to avoid the shots, and because trust me, you're gonna get penetrated. You're gonna get penetrated, and you don't wanna have it. So what this tank is capable is just spot and deal the damage, although the shells are amazing actually. But you must have intuition. It's like a rule. You have to have intuition in this tank, otherwise you're gonna struggle. And the thing is with this reload time and this intuition and the way the shells are laid out, you got AP heats and hash rounds, or high explosions I should say. You're gonna be like a singer. You're gonna drag to the 1, drag to the 3rd, drag to the 2. You're gonna switch the shells like a, I don't know, a dancer. Trust me. So you need intuition, and if you're gonna learn to use these shells as a full potential, for example, 90mm high explosions, 320 alpha, that's a massive boost for a 4-second reload. Trust me, and you will like it. And then sometimes you're gonna have to jump on the heat rounds because you're not gonna pen with the high explosions on stun rounds. So sometimes heat rounds you're not gonna penetrate because of the fence or something. So you're gonna have to jump to the AP or because of the shell velocity. So as I said, you're gonna play like that. So this tank is kind. So when you're gonna learn to use your shells properly, you're gonna boost yourself. I can tell you, you're gonna boost yourself in this tank because this tank is all about the shells, all about the choice. And when you're gonna choose correctly, trust me, like for example in this situation I'm loading AP rounds because of the long range, and obviously will be the better choice and better chance and bigger chance to penetrate someone to the side than loading with the high explosions, which is only 90mm and only actually quite a lot, and the long range plus heavies. So you have to have this kind of shells. The heavies pushing over there, obviously I'm try straight away to tap on the Chuki, and Chuki is quite good. It's a heat rounds, and the T-32 pushing straight away on the sides. I'm swapping to AP rounds. We're getting him out from the game. Also a little bit of assistance, and if you notice, I shoot so many times and I got only 2,500 so far deal damage, which is funny. But at the same time, that's how the thing goes with Kampfpanzer, I should say. Or even the shitpack tier 8 tank destroyer, it goes same principle. You got mobility, great gun, high explosions to the LC, 304 penetration, and that's great. That is already great. We got over 2,700 damage, and we're getting there. Enemy prototype getting spotted. He missed one shot. We're snapping him one. He's missing another one. Snapping again, and those small alpha damage is just. It's just not right in my opinion. It is not right, trust me. But in the same time, as I mentioned, it's difficult to play. Not everyone gonna make work, trust me. Not everyone gonna make this tank work. It's gonna be very difficult to achieve a huge potential from this tank just because of the alpha damage. But if you will trade this tank as a light tank, medium, you will enjoy it. That's small or very similar principle as should I say Boraska, because Boraska got no armors as well. It got great mobility, but the gun is trollish. This tank have no trollish gun, although you got a small alpha. Boraska got a trollish gun, but you got 2 shells, so you can miss one and deal another one. So yeah, it's like similar and at the same time not really. So I don't know. This tank is capable to do really great with it. Spotting setup, which is really thumbs up, because on every single map you can actually have a great performance by just spotting if you're playing against higher tiers. And that was our first battle. And just like that, we got a 3rd class, 3,500 damage, top by damage. Enemy LC did really great job by 4,800 spotting. Well, LC against, yeah, whatever. LC is LC, right? Next battle we got Redshire. And in this situation, once again, I'm gonna try to use a spotting setup because there is a blast on our team, and on enemy team is also blast. Yeah, it's a small map, but at the same time, CVS, optics, exhauster will work really well. That's why I like this tank, because every single map, more likely, you can rely as a light tank, and once again compensate your spotting, because to deal damage is a bit difficult, right? You know, trust me, you don't want to snipe with this tank. You don't want to rely on your allies if they're going to spot for you or not. And in this situation, I'm getting spotting in just beginning of the game. I'm knocking those trees down, which is very good. I knock them in correct way, so I can rotate back without getting damage from enemy. So I can wait, and now I can get to the bushes, so I can spot the guys on the T5 like Lorraine, giving him one to the side with the high explosions. At the same time, I can spot heavies who are gonna cross very soon on the right side at the T9. So this position is still working good, and it's still good in my opinion. Even there was some changes on enemy heavy line, so they got it covered now. But some people still picking like champs, and we can actually deal damage or supporting damage to enemies. And same as Scorpion getting spotted, and just like that we got already great game, 600 damage and 500 assistance. So that's over 1000 already in the pocket in the first minute of the game. T28 getting spotted. It looks like he's trying to get I don't know, some blocking damage, I guess, mission. But if you have a tension, look at that, look at the range, and I'm not getting spotted. That's super weird in my opinion. Why I'm not getting spotted? Well, as you can see, this tank with a standard equipment and this setup, all right, we got 33% common, I think, which is really super great in my opinion. And the funny part is that you can actually increase even more, because one of my perks have no Camo perk, I mean Camo perk. So you can increase your Camo even more, and keep that in mind. You can increase that with the better equipment, which goes crazy. I don't have on this account better equipment, unfortunately. That's my second account, sadly a Pepega account. And talking about the field modifications, there is one more option what you can do with this tank and increase your Camo, which is funny. And as you can see on the first one, I choose nothing, and second one I went for better dispersion. Although this is questionable. If I would go with the tryhard setup, I would choose none of them. And the last one, here it is. You can increase your reverse speed, or you can increase your Camo even higher. Trust me, I would increase my Camo even higher, because your reverse speed after this field modification will go down to 23. That's more than enough. That is more than enough. You don't need more. 23 reverse speed is top notch. Plus, on top of that, if you put the tryhard setup, vents or something, or even experimental turbo, right, for city maps, more than enough. Trust me. So field modifications can help you even more with this beautiful tank. So yeah, Camo in this tank, considering you're a fast tank, and you can do a lot of this tank, especially with your Camo, with your mobility, with your alpha or DPM, I should say. I love it. I feel like it's like Type 64 at tier 8 in my opinion. A fast real time, no armors, quite a little bit big, but you got a good gun depression. So it's, I don't know, very similar playstyle, or I should say, I don't know, game experience you should have, in my opinion. If you ever played Type 64 at tier 6, you probably know what I mean. But yeah, in my opinion, this tank is one of the best in tier 8 mediums. Obviously that's my opinion, and I like difficult tanks, and this tank is, I think so, one of the most difficult tanks in tier 8. I don't think so there is any other tier 8 tank which can be so difficult to play. Some of you gonna say no, there is none, because this tank have no armors and small alpha damage and great mobility. So if you snipe with this tank, you're gonna more likely not gonna achieve a huge performance, right? So you need to be as a light tank, you need to be as a brawler or dealer. So it's combination of difficulty max, in my opinion. So some people are not gonna enjoy that. Probably majority of you are not gonna enjoy that. I rather would take Lorraine 40T. So you do 2 clips. I like Oompa Loompa. You pick, you clip someone, and you got already great performance. And not like in this tank, you will have to shoot like 20 times to have a great performance, or risk it for a biscuit and try to spot. So yeah, but at the same time, this tank is well-rounded, and I like it. Plus, on top of that, he's also earning some quite good credits. So one of the tanks which can actually be really good for a frontline, for example, and you're not gonna regret, trust me. So yeah, we're still in the same position. As you can see, enemy taking down our heavy line, but we got our OP positions over there. We're trying to keep spotting enemy. Lorraine getting spotted. We're gonna try to shoot his cupola. Wanted the schnitzel for 324, and we got already 2000 plus performance, which is great. Soon we're gonna try to do something, because it's getting bored over here. So AMX pushing forward, so I'm thinking to support my heavy line, although XM and Echo 5 is in great positions. So after I choose to change my location, I decide to actually push the heavy line, and that would be great option because my Echo 5 also committing, one as well, trying to commit. And now even Kilana going to commit in the heavy line. So we got a huge forces to push forwards. And there is a Tiger poor Chew with a stock turret where our heat rounds gonna shred his turret like nothing. Even probably stun rounds can do the same thing because the Tiger Chew turret is basically paper. We're gonna try to load some high explosions to the side. 22 damage, better something than nothing. And there is a T-28 who was annoying for all game, and we're gonna try now to load the Chuki side to the shots, and now we're gonna try to Cupola snipe him. First shot in 189, and as you can see, the alpha is just so small. 180 again. It's just so small, but so fast, right? So it's like you wanna smile and you wanna be sad. You wanna smile and you wanna be sad. You know what I mean? But when you got a high explosions, and you pen your high explosions, that's awesome. Every 4 seconds, that is awesome. We're getting spotted by AMX, getting 2 shots. We're trying to avoid the rest of the shots from them, spotting Indian AMX as well. And we're getting such a great assistance, 1,100 in our pocket, and keep going. We're still growing our assistance, and that's what I'm talking about. You need to play this tank as a light tank, as a medium. And it will work. But once again, it's going to be difficult. Anyway, enemy getting shredded, so we're trying to be a little bit more aggressive, trying to push forwards. We're gonna try to proxy spot enemy. There is a mix, although we can die really quickly because there could be a mix with GSR on the left side. Luckily, they wasn't there. We're getting spotted, and we're spotting, getting shots to the mix. He's struggling to cover his massive weak spots, taking him out from the game. And just like that, we got already over 5,000 combined. Trust me, these kind of games not gonna be often, and some people just gonna YOLO you because they don't give a damn about your 200 alpha gun, and they just gonna YOLO you and gonna kill you. To have this kind of games is gonna be difficult. As I mentioned before, it's difficult tank to play. Trying to do one shot to the bush to just get spotted to see if there is an enemy or not. We're not getting spotted because Lorraine last time was been spotted over there. So we can push forwards. We're gonna try to push forwards and try to get some more assistance. Try to spot Lorraine, give some shots to Grom, and that would be a perfect ending game. And once again, this is what I'm talking about. The tank has a great mobility. We're getting spot by Lorraine, and we're giving him a nice 200 assistance. Sharing is caring because the Blask or Boraska in the back. So, but still, 200 is great. We still got mobility, and there is a Grom in the game. We need to watch out of him. We're gonna try to pick on the left side because there is a small tiny bush here, if I'm correct. Yeah, there is, and Grom is in sitting, and we've, as you can see, he was waiting for us to pick on the right side. Don't do it. That's really predictable. So do something else. Try to flank from the left because people like redlining people like Grom, they will know. They will wait for you to pick over there. So we're giving one to the side. We're gonna try to snap one more. That's a bright side about the heat rounds. You don't need to aim, more likely. And 2 shots to the Grom, 2,900 damage, 3,200 assistance. And just like that, first class, 1,300 base experience, 22 shots, 16 hits, 13 penetrations, 2,900 damage, 115,000 profit with completing some mission and 50,000 from that mission. Confederate medal and spotter. I don't know. You tell me, guys. Do you like this tank or not? I think not many of you gonna enjoy it because, as I mentioned, I think so. It's one of the most difficult tier 8 tanks to play. Even Boraska is easier to play because you can be Oompa Loompa and just go forwards, clip someone, 2 times do that by running away, and you already have a 1,600 damage, right? With this tank, you will have to do 20 shots, for example. No, I'm joking. 10 shots. But once again, I'm enjoying this tank because he's flexible and can be very good in any case, in any situation. Against tier 10s, CVS, straight away CVS, and optics. Against tier 9s, almost the same, depends on the map. And you're always gonna have an option to spot and compensate your great performance. But once again, I think it's too difficult for majority of us. But, well, your call. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and see you soon. God bless you all. Bye-bye.